Well, you think about it, like no institution in all of humanity probably has dealt with more scandal than the Vatican. I mean, really.
Absolutely.
I mean, seriously. Like,
absolutely. The fact that it's still there is
and like, yeah, they're and arguably the oldest institution in that sense of like an established, like literal physical institution, but just the scandal of dealing with that. So they're pretty good at it. But
yeah,
it's a hard thing to navigate. Of like, we see this with the Church of England. Right?
Oh yeah.
And they're like just faulting, and it's so. I mean, I'm not Anglican, but
I was for a hot minute
for
there.
a hot minute, yeah.
I'm really glad that I'm not right now because I'm like anything the German Catholic Church can throw at me is nothing compared to England right now.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It is.
It is heartbreaking, and there's a lot of people who are frustrated and sad, and I think that this is interesting. A lot of people, I say a lot of people, but I know a couple Protestants. Handful who have moved into Anglicanism because they see things they like and they appreciate it, and they've uprooted.
Let the camera keep talking.
Yeah, so they've uprooted all this stuff in their lives, and that's a huge shift.
Yeah,
and it's almost a harder shift than like Protestantism to Catholicism.
Interesting.
Because it's like if you're gonna go, just go all the way. But it's like no. Like, I think I'm here,
that.
And they do that, and then now like. Not to say that the Church of England is wrong, or
sure.
Like, obviously some of its leadership is wrong.
Right.
But that's just a hard thing. Like you've upended a lot of those things, and now you have to deal with this. And
well, I wouldn't be surprised if it does push a lot of people into the Anglican Ordinariate of the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Because we have that, which is really cool. I wish we had an Anglican Ordinariate parish near me, but there is a liturgical rite within the Catholic Church that's still the Roman rite, but it's specifically the Anglican use.
Oh, okay.
And so for an Anglican to come in, it feels almost exactly like what you went to.
Yeah.
A couple extra little doctrines in there, right? Things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with
small
a lot of
little
that stuff,
things.
Yeah. No, minor things. Papal infallibility.
Yeah.
Immaculate conception. But
things like that.
Just couple squabbles among friends. But I think that's going to push a lot of people over. Because I know for me, Anglicanism was sort of a stepping stone, and I feel like a lot of people it is. Because when you kind of come towards Catholicism, there's probably 100 points along the way where I was like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because there was always another thing to look into until I had kind of exhausted it all. And was like, I think I'm in agreement with everything.
Yeah.
And so Anglicanism was a good place for a long time.
Yeah.
And then conversely, there's a lot of Catholics who, when they decide, I don't agree with the church on homosexuality and marriage and women in the priesthood, I would like all those things to be in my church. They kind of revert and ditch Catholicism for, kind of like in a squishy Episcopalianism. And so we see that too, and that's
It is an interesting thing when you think about the argument about church unity. A lot of people discuss the church. We're commanded in Scripture to be unified. Christ commanded us. Paul writes this again and again, like be unified, set aside your differences. And part of like the blessing of living in this day and age, I mean, in my hometown, I can be Catholic. I can be almost any kind of stripe of Protestant I want. I can be not Anglican, but I can be Episcopalian, American Anglican kind of. There's just so much that the heartbeat of unity really is about the heart. Like you have to be committed to be unified. And I think that sometimes we want to see institutions unified. It's like, well, that's what unity means. It's like, well, man, there's disunity all over the Catholic Church, all over the Orthodox Church, all over Protestant churches.
Yeah, Orthodoxy is getting really nuts right now with Russia.
Yeah. So it's this interesting thing of like, we all want to be unified until we don't.